Hey everyone, welcome back to the Leadership Project. Sei and Mick here with you, coming back at you with some of our behind the scenes videos. It's been a while since we've done something like this because we've had a lot of changes in our life. We've moved countries, we've moved cities, and we're now living in Melbourne for the very first time. So Sei, great to be back in front of the camera together today. I'm excited about this. Today we're going to have 5 Q&A questions. I don't know what the questions are. Sei does, so she's got a little bit of an advantage here, but that's okay. And we're going to talk about our marriage and where we've got to so far.
So we're almost 5 years married. How did we manage to survive the 5 years of marriage with our cultural differences and age gap?
Oh, really simple answer. A lot of alcohol. A lot of alcohol. That's the answer. Like a lot of people say that alcohol is not a... Okay, now, in all seriousness, it's a really good question. So we do have cultural differences. We have a lot of misunderstandings. We have age gap, generational gaps, language barrier. We have all kinds of things that you would think would work against us. But overall, I think there's a few things there. One is that we recognize that all emotions are temporary. Right? So we do get upset with each other. There's times where we're kind of not talking to each other for a few hours, etc. But we know it's going to pass.
Yep.
So all emotions are temporary and we know it's going to come back together. The second one is curiosity, is to stay curious and go, okay, that didn't make any sense to me, but instead of remaining angry about it, get curious about it. So what was that about? What was that misunderstanding? And the third one is because we love each other, it's seeking to understand each other. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. And if you stick to those 3 things, I think that's the recipe for success.
But I felt because of the maturity between the two of us, it's really good. It's the click, we click to each other the very first time that we've met. It's something that surprised me, especially when we're just talking to each other and then all of a sudden, oh, wait for a second. Something's really with you. It's the magic.
Je ne sais quoi.
What's that mean?
It's French for a little something I don't know what. I don't know what it is, but there's something there. Je ne sais quoi.
And then when the relationship, it's not always easy for us for the first year until we are here on almost 5 years. I think the love and respect to each other.
Yeah, respect.
That's those are the most important thing when it comes to the relationship. Remember when you're coming from work, and I've learned it from you as actually, and when you're gonna greet, how are you? How are you? It's always the topics that you're gonna start with the topics with that you need to do conversations, etc. with you. What do you think of that? Yeah.
That's a really good message, right? So if you've watched the show a lot, you know that one of our things is that how are you is not a question and not a greeting, it's a question. And yet we've somehow in society, we've turned it into a greeting instead of a question. And that, when we spoke about that, we were talking about the workplace. But I'm going to challenge you, like listen to those watching at home. When was the last time you asked your loving partner, your family members, how they are, how they really are, and really listen to the answer? Because we get complacent, and if we don't take the time to say, hey, how are you doing today? No, really, how are you doing today? Are you happy? Are you, is everything good? Then the person could be sitting there with something going on in their life that you're not aware of.
The second one, it's like a follow-up to the first question. What are our daily conversations and topic?
So day-to-day conversations are around some logistical things. Like say, you're always going to have those conversations. What are our plans today? What are your plans today? What are you going to do today, etc. But to me, the deeper conversations are the next ones. And we don't always get this right, by the way. We're not going to sit here and pretend that we're perfect at this at all. What are you most looking forward to today? How often do you ask that question? Not very often, right? And yet, if you ask that question to your partner, what are you most looking forward to this weekend? You might be surprised by the answer, and it'll tell you something about them. It'll tell you something about their emotional state, their desires, their preferences, etc. So I do think we need to ask each other more open questions and more curious questions about where the other person's at.
When you wake up in the morning, it always feels like, how are you? And how's your sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what you said. It's like the curiosity and open questions. And then it's starting with that, how will be the conversation going. And because the two of us, it's always becomes with the house, the two of us together, and then with the business, everything. And then what's the everyday things happening in Melbourne, in Philippines, Singapore, any other parts of the world. And it's really good to have a conversation, especially with you, because you always have the answer with that. So that's very interesting with me. It's like, for example, Mick, I'm not a coach. How are we gonna be asked questions with these ones? How are we gonna start conversation? And then you're gonna. It's like we've been doing a conversation as a husband and wife, as a partner on a business, and then we are already doing coaching style thing.
Key point there is that we've got complementary strengths. When it comes to our knowledge, skills, experience, they're very different, but we know that. So Sei knows more about social media and digital marketing, all of these things than I'll ever know. And yeah, I've got certain strengths. I've got business strengths, I've got coaching strengths, I've got knowledge of psychology, etc. So she'll ask me questions that play to my strengths, and I ask her questions that play to her strengths. And if you truly deeply listen to each other, you're then stronger together, right? You're stronger together, you're smarter together, you're better together. That's what it's all about. But if you're not holding space for each other, you can't do that.
I think this is gonna be the last question because it's taking.
Sure.
So, how we spend time together, especially with our little boy who is so clingy with me.
But the good news is that our boy brings us such joy. So doing things where it kind of brings him into everything. Like we do so many things as a family where he always feels included in what we're doing, I think is really powerful, because that brings both of us great joy as well. So little things around the house, activities outside the house, there's always that, oh yeah, Thomas would love this. Right, so he has become the centre of our universe in that regard. It doesn't mean that we don't enjoy it too, and that we don't do things that we would like to do. But when we're doing those things, we're always thinking, and how would we include Thomas, and what would his involvement be? So,
and this is gonna come with the inclusion.
Yeah.
The inclusion with the family. It's always a start with the household of how he's gonna become outside. So when he sees us as a mom and his mama and his dada, that all right, my mom and dad love each other. I'm gonna feel the love, the hug, the cuddles when we are having our dinners together. He has his own plate as well. He has this plastic thing of a wine glass, and he loves to do the cheers.
Just cheers.
Cheers. And then we are putting him, as in involving him to those activities, which is very we wanted to have, of course in the future, we still wanted to do date nights and do something together. But I think when the time is right, time is right.
At the moment it's family dates, but when the time's right, we'll go back to couple dates as well.
I think that's it, because we've come so far already with the questions. It's really good to have a conversation with you just like this. And what do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's great to be doing this again and to be sharing our life with people and to have these casual conversations. And I hope that people find it valuable. And we'd love to show you a little glimpse of our personal life as well as our professional life. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to bringing you more of these in the near future.
And if you have any questions about us, the two of us, we are very happy to answer it. Thank you so much again for watching us, and we're looking forward to see you in the future.
All right. Thank you very much.
Bye!
Hey everyone, it's Mick Spears from the Leadership Project, where we empower leaders with the knowledge and skills that they need to create amazing teams and amazing workspaces. If you're enjoying our content, please do remember to hit like, subscribe, and that little notification bell so that you can be notified of all of our future videos. In the meantime, please do take care, look out for each other, and join us on this journey as we learn together and lead together.